Dave Bontempo and Joey Varner with you here in Los Angeles, and welcome to the show. You're going to have that battle right away, whether Ruiz can establish that reach and use it well.
You saw early Ceja come out with 2 pawing jabs, and Ruiz answered back at a longer distance with a quick snapping jab. Just touched his forehead, didn't really pop it, but he did it at a distance that is conducive for him to control the center of the ring and control the action of this fight.
Ceja will be trying to duck inside that jab, but he must do so the right way because he just walked into a left hook.
And you've seen Ruiz a couple times cock back and fire that left hook. Crisp, tight, hasn't made contact, but it's been there.
Good body shot by Ruiz. Ceja trying to get inside. So far, Ruiz could see everything coming at him from Ceja and has some good countering opportunities.
Yes, Ceja definitely wants to get inside of Ruiz. That's where he's going to have a better chance of winning this fight. But he can't just walk in. He's got to punch him. He's got to move his head off that center line and work his way on the inside, work his way inside the pocket. But it's going to be hard to do with Ruiz firing that jab and also that counter left hook.
He's landed that counter left hook to the body and just missed landing it to the head. He has sent the message to Ceja that there's a cover charge for coming in here.
And Ceja's connect with those last 2 punches.
Yeah, nice hook, and then there's the uppercut by Ruiz. As Ceja moved in to try and parlay what he had done. A beautiful countering opportunity for Ruiz. These guys are bangers. High knockout record for both. So we come to the end of the opening round, and it's been a good one.
And here we take a look back at some of that action, and there's the overhand right from Ceja. Ruiz tries to counter, but Ceja's just outside of distance when he does it. And here we see Ceja coming in. And there Ruiz was trying to hit him with the counter hook, but it was Ceja who got off first and landed his left hook.
Second round action scheduled for 12. Hugo Ruiz and Julio Cesar Ceja. Good opening round for Ruiz, who's in the darker, more complete green. It's on the right of your screen. 35-2, 30 knockouts. Ceja 28-1, 26 knockouts. And in that opening round, Joey, sometimes we see power punchers might be cautious because they respect the power of the other guy, but these guys came out and they let it go.
Both fighters let it go. Both fighters trying and finding limited success at finding homes for the left hook. Ceja did a better job. He actually stumbled Ruiz a little bit. I don't think it was a damaging punch, but more of Ruiz was hit and off balance. But Ruiz has thrown a couple crisp, sharp left hooks that haven't found their mark yet. But what did find his mark, Dave, was that nice right uppercut. Ruiz did a great job timing Ceja, moving his head right to that center line and snapped it back.
And Ceja, who walked into the money punch from a slugger, was able to withstand that. That was a good sign for him because he was drilled right on the button. Now Ceja trying to bull his way through that jab of Ruiz.
And you've got an interesting contrast of styles here where you see Ruiz more of a sharpshooter. Elbows in tight, punches coming straight lines, very crisp. Ruiz gets a little, or excuse me, Ceja gets a little loopy with his punches, dips on the outside, fires overhands and kind of loopy hooks. But he's been landing at a higher frequency of the two.
And the idea that he has to dip and fire those shots, overcoming that reach disadvantage, that ends up being the first part of his strategy. And then how about positioning for how you throw your punches from that standpoint if it's something you're not comfortable doing?
Yeah, and you know what, that's the thing is Ceja definitely needs to move his head off that center line to avoid the straight punches of Ruiz, but he's got to bring it back in that center line to counter, which puts him right back into position to get hit. So you see a lot of what we just saw right there is after he slips on the outside or dips to the outside, he'll counter, and when he comes back to that center, he'll roll out either to the left or right.
And it's been a good second round for Ceja. So a good first round for Ruiz and a good bullying second round for Ceja.
And then we take a look back at some action from the previous round. Ruiz, beautiful jab to the body, follows it right upstairs over the left hand of Ceja with a straight right cross, straight to the chin of Ceja.
¿Todo bien? Nomás cuidado con la cabecita, hijo, ¿eh? No se vayan a cortar un cabezazo. Cuidado con la cabezota, no se vayan a cortar y quítale un poquito la grasa. Tiene mucha. Mouthpieces in, seconds out. You go.
Third round action, Hugo Ruiz and Julio Ceja locked up in a good one at 122 pounds. Dave Bontempo and Joey Varner with you here on Premier Boxing Champions in Los Angeles. Good matchup of number 1 and number 3 in the WBC's version of the 122-pound champion.
Oh, and another right uppercut lands inside just after an accidental clash of the heads. Ruiz stopped to kind of touch his forehead and complain about it. Ceja opened up and Ruiz just slipped that right uppercut right up the middle. And Dave, what we're seeing right now is that style matchup we talked about of the straight punches of Ruiz versus the loopy punches of Ceja. Ruiz is starting to find his timing, he's starting to find his distance because he's pot shotting and picking up shots as Ceja opens up with a loopy punch. Ruiz is doing a good job of beating him with a center shot, either a straight or an uppercut down the middle before the loopy punch of Ceja can land.
And what's making this more interesting is that Ceja is getting braver.
And that's the truth. Every time that he has been countered, that he has been hit, he has been punched coming in, he seems that it brings him alive. He presses the action more. He starts firing more punches and coming harder at Ruiz with the punching onslaught.
Left hook by Ceja. Ruiz trying to keep him off with the jab, but knows that he has to do something in the power department to keep Ceja honest.
He's doing a great job of making Ceja pay every time Ceja comes in. He's just touching him with quick little counter shots. You saw a minute ago, he slipped right outside that cross, just like he did there. He pulled off that right hand and landed a left hand over the top of his own.
Good shots by both. The left hook by Ruiz and the straight right by Ceja. Good left hook and down goes Ceja as he walked into trouble. Just like in round one. We said he was getting braver. Maybe a little too brave there. How does Ruiz feel about this opportunity? Ceja did get up quickly. Does he try to go for the finish, or does he believe that Ceja is okay? Terrific hook by Ruiz. Opening up, Ceja hands down. Dangerous spot and a big right hand by Ruiz. The belt can't save you, but for Ceja, it would be divine intervention.
¿Qué pasó, Pollo? A ver, ¿cómo te sientes, viejo? Pollo. Pollo, vamos.
No tiene nada, no hay llorado.
Bote, el bote. Make sure you count the knockdown.
And here, let's take a look back at that knockdown. You see that right hand comes, and just as Ceja comes rushing in, eats the left hook, tastes the canvas. Another look at it here, we see it. And like we talked about in the previous round, Ceja opens up with the loopy punches. It's the shorter, tight punches of Ruiz that make their mark first.
Vuélvelo a agarrar. No le des chance que se reponga. No le des chance, búscalo.
Ok, lo que quedamos, viejo. ¿Está bien? Vamos, Pollo. Vamos, échale. Con todo, Pollo, vamos.
A ver, Mapis, sácate, atrás.
Fireworks in the building as we start round 4. Hugo Ruiz, Julio Cesar. Knocked down in round 3 by Ruiz. Ceja shrugs it off as if it's yesterday's news. Two guys with big knockout records, and they're fighting like it. 30 knockouts and 37 fights for Ruiz. And for Ceja, 26 knockouts and 29 fights.
If you take away the punching power of both fighters, the style matchup is very similar to the one we're going to see in our main event. And what I mean is Leo Santa Cruz, is a pressure fighter who throws more loopy punches, and Abner Mares is the more sharp, polished, inside crisp fighter. Only difference, though, is that Ruiz, in this case, has the reach advantage, and Mares would have the reach disadvantage in this fight with Leo Santa Cruz.
So some things will be the same, some will vary a bit. As you look at the attack from Ceja, and with that knockdown in the last round, the thing that really made it happen for Ruiz was the quick shift in feet.
Yeah.
After his opponent missed, because he wasn't really in position, he sort of shifted his weight quickly to just get that hook in.
Yep.
So for Ruiz, thinking on his feet, enabled him to knock Ceja off of his feet. Good hook by Ceja.
Ceja not fighting this round like a man who was almost knocked out in the previous.
No, and he's getting drilled like he did at certain points in that last round. He's opening up, taking his chances. And when you're a slugger, do you know any other way? Right? Look at all the knockouts, 26 knockouts in 29 fights. How do you turn him into a stylist all of a sudden?
To a hammer, every problem looks like a nail.
Which also means that a guy like this is never out of a fight from a power standpoint.
And you see Ceja trying to hammer away at Ruiz, but he gets nailed every time he does.
Uppercut by Ceja. So as we come to the end of round 4, Ceja continues to get drilled, but keeps coming forward.
Para la campana.
And here, let's take a look back at some of the action from the 4th round. You see Ceja pressing forward. Ruiz doing a good job of countering as he comes in. Nice jab, cross, doubles it up, jab, cross, hook. Ruiz trying to fire as he's moving backwards, and Ceja just coming forward, unloading punches as he does.
Hazlo por ti, no hagas por nadie. No lo hagas por nadie, hazlo por ti, ¿ok? ¿Vamos? ¡Vamos! ¡Vamos, viejo! ¡Vas, pollo! ¡Vas, viejo! ¡Demuéstralo!
Good matchup between Hugo Ruiz and Julio Ceja. Heads into round 5, scheduled for 12. It's an interim 122-pound championship on the line. Already one knockdown in this fight, registered by Ruiz against Ceja. Wild miss here by Ceja. Now he's got the power. So how does he effectively get himself in position to maximize his punching opportunities?
Well, what he's doing right now to get into position is he's punching into position. But the problem is that every time he's trying to punch into position, he's getting countered and picked apart as he comes in. Another way to do it instead of punching into position is move your head into position, cut Ruiz off, bully Ruiz with your footwork and your head movement into the corner against the ropes, and when you get him there, unleash the attack to his body and then go upstairs to the head. But his current strategy is punching his way in, but he's getting picked apart as he does it.
Yeah, a couple of different ways to do it. When guys bob and weave to get inside and then slip to get into punching position, we see some guys, they're in perfect position after they get inside, and some guys, it throws off their positioning by working inside, then they have no shot.
Right. And that's one of those things you talked about when Ruiz knocked down Ceja, was that last minute adjustment with his footwork, adjusting his feet. And that's one of the things Ceja's going to have to do when he gets inside, is adjust those feet, keep those feet under you as a punch, but also adjust, make those little split-second adjustments as your distance changes, as your opponent moves.
Good paced battle here. Good hook, and down goes Ruiz. You knock me down, I knock you down. What a terrific fight between the number 1 and number 3 contenders at 122. And here comes Ceja thinking this is his opportunity. You don't know how many you're going to get. He opens up, trying to make his case to the referee. Now the big hook. Ruiz is in deep trouble. Smart enough to hang on, a lot of time to kill, and that's it, he can't kill it. Sudden opportunity and sudden victory for Julio Cesar Ceja.
When you've got knockout power in both hands, you're always in the fight. And I'll tell you what, up to that point, Ruiz had done a phenomenal job of keeping his right hand nice and high. He caught the majority of the left hooks that Ceja threw. The one time he let it down, he paid for it. He paid for it with a knockout loss.
And what's unique about it is, we've seen the recuperative powers of these guys. Another 28 seconds, if Ruiz gets through that, maybe that minute helps him. But Ceja smart enough to know that was the window.
Well, take nothing away from the punching power of Ceja, but Ruiz didn't make the best defensive decision when he got up from the canvas. Ceja hopped all over Ruiz And instead of covering, trying to time up here, let's take a look at it. And you see the right hand nice and light. They trade left hooks. The left hook of Ceja finds its mark. It's a money shot. Here's another shot of that same punch. Left hooks trade right on the button, on the chin. You see the jaw snap back. Right hand, left hook finds his mark. Earlier, Ceja got to the punch first. Up until this point, it's been Ruiz landing the punch first. Ceja gets there first, right on the button, sending Ruiz crashing to the canvas.
Don't hook with a hooker.
And here, this is what I was talking about, Davey B, is as Ruiz gets up from the canvas, Ceja hops all over him, and off instinct probably, Ruiz obliges him to try to start trading back. Instead of covering up, instead of trying to tie him up, instead of trying to buy some more time, he started punching back, which inevitably led to him getting knocked out.
You have to adopt what was called the Tommy Hearns philosophy in one of his fights. He was dropped by James Kinchin and he was trying to hold on, and he said, I held on to him like he was my girlfriend. And to buy 30 more seconds, that's what he would have had to do. But that's the beauty of this sport. The window opens, some guys storm through, some guys don't. And Ceja is able to do that. That's going to make our honor roll of fights on the Premier Boxing Champion circuit, at least on the knockouts side. What's really appealing about this matchup is that you had two guys who are punchers, and they decided to fight that way.
Yeah.
They didn't adjust based on the fact that they could get hit. So they made it a fans fight.
Raul Caiz Sr. waves off the bat for your winner by knockout, Julio Cesar Ceja.
And there he is being congratulated by WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, as he now has that interim belt, 122. That's Leo Santa Cruz's division. So we don't know what interim means. Does it mean when Leo wants it back? Does it mean when Mauricio says he gives it back? But right now he's a champion. And what a way to do it.
Wow. Coming off the canvas, he tasted the canvas in the third round. He was getting outpunched, he was getting picked apart, stayed with his attack, he stayed with his pressure. He went to that left hook, he kept firing it, Ruiz hooked with a hooker and went to sleep because of it.
Certainly did, and the point you were making, so true. You know, you're not used to being down. You need to hang on for dear life after that. But he was unable to do that, and so it suddenly went against him. Now, it certainly looked like his fight in round 3.
Here we see, and there's that counter. It was the left hook of Ruiz, the counter left hook of Ceja that sent Ceja to the canvas. And unlike Ceja later in the round, Ruiz couldn't put him away. And here we see the 4th round, trading punches. Ceja fresh off the canvas, looking none the worse for wear, still pressing forward, still looking to land that big left hook. Ruiz obliging him as they trade punches. Ruiz getting the better of the exchanges here in the 4th round. And then in the 5th round, this happens. They trade left hooks. Ruiz doesn't make it in time. Ceja finds its mark, sends Ruiz crushing to the canvas. Ruiz gets up and tries to trade right again, and there we take a look at the same punch. And here's the end of the fight. Ruiz trying to punch back, trying to trade. Now he's just moving his head. And Ceja opening up, unloading on him, going to the body, digging to the body.
And let's capture something else that we get another look at here.